Welcome to Runner Reset. This is a yoga practice, stretching practice that will target full body. So let's start off. Make sure you have a towel or a block or books, anything that's going to bring the ground up for you. We're going to start off in a child's pose. Your knees are as wide as your mat, your toes touch, and then your hips will start to work their way back towards your heels. Your arms will reach forward, and then your forehead can drop. If you find that there's a lot of space between your forehead and the ground, you can bring the block under your forehead, and that's how you reach the ground. Let's start here by taking a few breaths in and out. Take note of how everything in the body feels. And in general, how you are feeling today. And resist the urge to judge any of it. You're just becoming aware of your body in this moment. And then take 3 more big breaths here. Take 1 more breath in and out. And walk your hands over to the right side, off your mat. Continue to press your hips back as you reach your hands over so that you can feel that stretch into the left side body. And then come through center and walk your hands over to the left this time. Your hips pull back to your right side, and then reach to stretch your entire left side body. Come back through center, press through your hands and lift up into your tabletop. Hips over knees, your shoulders are over your wrists. Unless the wrists have any kind of sensitivities, you walk them forward. From here, you're going to move through cat and cow. So you take a big breath in to drop your belly and look up. And then as you exhale, you press the ground away, round out. Let's do that 2 more times. You drop the belly, look up, and then press the ground away, round out. 1 more time. Drop the belly, look up. Round it out. And then come back to a neutral spine. Press down into your left hand. Reach your right arm up so you twist open. And then thread the needle. Reach your right arm through the space created by your left hand and your left thigh. Perhaps your shoulder falls down, your head drops down. Use your left hand to press the ground away so that you can stack your left shoulder on top. And then take 1 more big breath in. Breathe it out. Press down through your left hand. Reach your right arm up again. Take that stretch. And then release your hand down to the ground. This time your left arm lifts up. And then you'll thread it through. Drop down onto your shoulder. Press the ground away with your right. And then feel your right shoulder stack and move towards your left. Take 1 more big breath in. And out. Press the ground away. Lift up, open. And then release your hand down to the ground. Spread your fingers out wide. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up to go for a down dog. So spread your fingers out wide and then take a few moments here to pedal your legs out. So bend your right knee, bend your left knee, maybe bend both of the knees. Just check out how everything is feeling, how your back is feeling, how the entire backside of your legs are feeling. And then find stillness. You take 1 big breath in. Breathe it out.
look to your hands and either little tiny steps forward or one big step forward, whatever it is you're feeling today, you do that. When you land at the top of your mat, your feet are hips width apart or wider. Bring a bend into your knees and then grab opposite elbows and let yourself hang heavy. If movement feels good, you can swing from side to side. And then get nice and still. Your left hand will come down to the ground or to that block. So left hand down, left knee bends, your right leg straightens as your right arm lifts up. Breathe into the stretch. And then release and switch sides. Hand to your block or to the ground. Right knee bends, your left leg straightens as your left arm lifts up. Take one more big breath in. And then gently let your hand come down to the ground. You toe heel your feet together. Take a breath in to lengthen halfway, hands to your shins. Then as you exhale, you fold and hug into fight. Inhale, rise and reach your hands up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center, down by your side. Roll your shoulders up and back a few times. And then roll your shoulders forward a few times. And then find stillness once again and just take note of how the body feels. Bring awareness to your feet and how your feet connect down to the ground. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, bend into your knees as you fold back down to the ground. Inhale, you lengthen, hands to your shins, straighten out your back. And then exhale, your hands come down, step it back into your high plank. You're just going to hold here for 5. You can drop your knees. 4, press the ground away though. 3, heels are back for 2. Take one more big breath in. And then as you exhale, knees come down, your body lowers all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes, press down into your hands, and lift your chest up for cobra pose. And then release it back down. 2 more times. Lift up, cobra pose, use your back muscles, release it down. 1 more time, try to lift a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, push it back into your child's pose. Knees wide, once again, toes touch. Take 1 more big breath in here. Let your breath go. Come back into another down dog. And just take note, how does this down dog feel compared to that first one? You can wiggle it out, walk it out, add that movement. And then from here, drop your knees down to the ground. Keep your toes tucked as you walk your hands back for toes pose. So you want your toes tucked. You can even check your toes out. Make sure they're all involved in this party. It's a really intense stretch, so you breathe into it. You be with it. If you find that it's really hard to place the weight of your torso, block can come down. And that just gives you a little bit more of support. So take a few more breaths into this toes pose. Take 1 more. And bring your hands down. Untuck your toes. Give them a nice little tap. You come back into your tabletop. Bring your right thumb towards the middle of your mat, and all you're going to do is stretch your right leg to the outside of your right hand, and then drop your hips down for a lizard lunge. The block is once again your friend to lift the ground up. You can place it to the inside. Both hands can rest on it. One hand can rest on it.
but I want you to think of a long spine. Keep your heart lifted as your hips drop low. Big inhales, big exhales. One more breath in and out. Now stay where you're at. Maybe move the block a little bit in front. What you are going to do is shimmy your right leg to the center of the mat. Straighten out your leg to go into a half split or your hamstring stretch. Your hands can come down. Again, you can use the block to bring the floor up to you. Your right toes are flexed. Your hips are in line with one another. You take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, you fold it forward. Hold it here. Take one more big breath in. Let your breath go. Find your low lunge forward. So now we're in low lunge position. Hold it steady here. Left hand stays on the ground, or perhaps again, bring your hand to your block. This time your back foot is going to lift up. If this is where you stop there. The focus is on stretching your quad and getting into your hip flexor. If you have more space, your right arm is going to reach back and pull in. Try to keep your right knee from flaring out. Bring it in. And hold it here for another 3. For another 2. One more big breath in. Breathe it out. Nice and slow. Your foot comes back down to the ground. Both hands come back down to the ground. Return to your tabletop. Bring your legs together. Toes pose round 2. Take a seat and just check in and see how it feels second time around and if it feels any different. There you go. Hands come down, untuck your toes, you give them that tap, tap, tap. And then create that space so that now your left leg can step forward to the outside of your left hand for that lizard lunge. And it's the same deal here. Hips are low, your chest is high, you're long in your back. You have your block to support you. Either you stay high or maybe you find that there's a little more flexibility to give here and you can come down onto your forearms. Forearms can come onto your block or down onto the ground. Wherever you are, you stay there, you hold and you breathe. Good. Take one more big breath in. Let your breath go. Hands to the ground or to your block as you press your block forward, and then you shimmy your left foot to the center of your mat as your hips shift back for that half split. So you breathe in, lengthen, and then breathe out, find that fold. Nice. From here, you rebend into your front knee so you're in that low lunge position. Your right hand stays down on the ground or on your block. Keep your left knee hugging in towards the center. This time your right leg lifts up. If this is a lot for the knee or it feels uncomfortable for the knee, you can place a towel or something beneath the knee. So either foot lifts, you're just working that action, feeling the stretch into your hip and your quad, or you can reach back and
and that's going to intensify the stretch. Hold it here for another 3, another 2, and another 1. Let it go. Rock aside, hand come down, step it back into your child's pose. Into your tabletop pose. Spread your fingers out wide and go for another round of cat-cow. Press and lift. Go 2 more. Look up. Round out. 1 more. Up. And round out. Great. From here, tuck your toes and lift up into your downward facing dog. And again, pedal out your legs if that feels good. Just be really curious as to how the body feels. And remember not to force anything. I'm going to start on my left side so that you can see. So left hand to the middle. Left leg will step to the outside of your left hand. You are going to pivot and rotate your right toes up to the ceiling, and as you do, your left toes are going to point towards the right top edge of your mat. So side lunge. I'm actually really low into my side lunge. However, you can be here, lifted, toes can be up. Just play around with that stretch into your inner thigh. And then hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down. You find that rotation forward once again. Step back into your downward facing dog. Right hand to the center of your mat. We take that same pivot. Right foot to the front, so you're in that high lizard lunge. You drop your heel down. The entire body is rotating for that. Left toes up. Right toes point towards the top left-hand corner of your mat. Let me turn around this way so you all can see me. So you're here. Again, you can use the block to lift. Focus on your hips back and that stretch into your inner thigh. Hands can stay on the ground, and you can add that balance challenge by bringing your hands to heart center. Take another big breath in here. And then find your rotation back forward. Send everything back into your down dog. Take a few final pedals. Last down dog here. Drop down to your knees once again. Back down onto your hips and extend your legs straight out in front of you. You can give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. You can shape your legs out. You're going to take a big breath in and reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, you lead with your chest forward to fold forward. You can always bring that bend into your knees if this feels really intense on the hamstrings. And then as you hold, you'll see that the hamstrings will open and you can sit a little bit deeper into it. Your hands can always grab onto your toes. And then know that this right here is pretty intense too. So if that's what your body needs, do that. Take one more big breath in. Let your breath go. Then reach your arms forward and very slowly come to roll all the way down onto your back. Bring your feet down onto the ground and make sure your fingertips can reach your heels. So scooch and take any adjustment, and then nice and slow you lift your hips up. It's a short hold here for 5, 4, slow. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee, and if this feels good, stay here. Or you reach your arms through and pull your legs in closer. So right arm will go through the triangle created by your thighs, and left hand will wrap around to either grab your left thigh or grab your left shin. But as you pull your left leg closer to your body, use those glute muscles to actively press your right knee away from your body. Take one more breath in and out. Nice and slow, you bring everything back down and you switch sides. Left ankle over right knee, pull it all in. Make sure you keep your left foot flexed. And then again, reach for the thigh, reach for the shin. Make sure your tailbone stays down. As you pull your right leg, you press your left knee away from you. Now let that come down. Release, hug both of your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle rock from side to side. And then let both knees fall over to the left side as your arms open up like a T. Work to bring both shoulders down. Your gaze, if it allows and it feels good, will follow your right hand. And back up through center, switch sides, and switch your gaze. Last thing, you come up through center, your feet come down, your knees open up wide as your feet touch. So your reclined butterfly. You can always bring blocks under your knees and thighs for support. Otherwise, your hands come to your body or next to you, wherever it feels comfortable. You're going to take 5 of your biggest breaths here. Breathe in for 4. Breathe in for 3. Breathe in for 2. Last big breath in. Let it go with a sigh. Hands behind your thighs. Gently bring your knees together. Maybe let them fall from side to side. But when you're ready, your knees will come to your chest and you'll find a rocking motion up to a comfortable seated position. Roll your shoulders back, sit nice and tall. Take a big breath in. Smile with your exhale. Great job on completing the runner reset. Please, if there's anything here that you want to go back to and hold longer, give yourself that. Other than that, I'll see you next month. Please enjoy this video and do it as often as possible. The more stretched out the muscles are,